I hope everybody is doing well. I am doing great. Today has been a very productive day. I feel very accomplished. I have been in hermit mode for quite some time for a very good reason, for lots of good reasons, actually. But here in the past couple months, Spirit has been nudging me to clear some things out, get rid of even more things. Because I did this big clearing last year of my garage and things of that sort. And, well, now it's my house. My daughter lived here for a little bit, and my son came back home for a little bit. And now it's just me and the dog again. And I've moved my space down in the basement. It's pretty cool. I like it. I've got little Halloween stuff set up right now, and I brought a lot of my crystals down here. I literally just brought my desk and my cards and everything down here. Today, I will be bringing my massage table so that I can do some healing. But anyhow, I am getting out of hermit mode and getting back to what I love to do, what I'm very passionate about, and that is healing. That is doing tarot readings. That is being a medical intuitive, helping people out, inspiring people, what have you. So, it is going to be a slow getting back to myself, just so you guys know. I've been going through a lot of changes and transformations. Things that I have been knowing that I need to do, have not really been too focused on. I am now focused on. So, anyhow, I'm in a really good space. I hope you guys are too. I want to do a reading since I'm in my new space right now, and I'm trying to get this lit before I do that, though. I feel like it needs to be cleared out. Anyhow, I want to do a reading since I'm in my new space and in a new frame of mind, and have really been seeking a lot of clarity in situations. And now that I've received that clarity and I've got the hope that I need and the faith that I need and all of that good stuff, I am just ready to see what Spirit has to say to you guys as well. I know where I'm heading. Let's see where you're heading. I mean, maybe there's some things that I need to know still, but I'm pretty good at, I got a pretty good indicator of what I need to do. 222, guys. You can look that up on Sacred Scribes. Let me clear this out a little bit here. All right, guys. Let's see what the cards have for us today. Which cards do I start with? Which cards do I start with? Thank you. You guys can hear the music. I do not own the rights. This is not my music. I just have it playing upstairs. I love to listen to music. That's pretty much all I do. Unless my kids are over or grandkids, then I might watch TV. But for the most part, I just listen to music all the time. I don't have cable. I don't have anything like that. I do have a Netflix account and YouTube Red, but that's because of the kids. So anyhow, let's get this going. Let's see what kind of messages Spirit has for us. Ooh, am I supposed to read those together? There's a big focus on appearance, maybe. There's a message of, this is blowing my face. Yeah, there's a message of focusing on appearance. Maybe some of you are focusing a little too much on your appearance. There's something about maybe getting out of this ego mind where you're worried about what everybody else may be thinking about you or saying about you, and getting into this frame of mind where you love yourself no matter how you look or how you don't look or what you do or don't do, or what your career is, or whether or not you've chased your dreams or whatever it may be. But there's this sense of really falling in love with yourself. And maybe some of you, you're already in this energy, because there is there is a little bit of two messages here. One of them is, saying that you need to quit allowing the ego to get to you, quit worrying about how others may judge you or perceive you. For some of you, this may not be about your looks, but it may be about some sort of situation that was in the past. Maybe you have a past. I mean, we all do, but I mean like a wreckage of your past. Like maybe there was something about your past that wasn't so pleasant. And so you're afraid that your image has been tarnished. So for some of you, you're in this space right now where Spirit is showing you to remember who you truly are. Remember your values. Remember your assets. Remember what you have to bring to the table, whether it be in a career or in relationships with your family, friends, your children, with a lover, maybe even when it comes to a relationship with yourself. But what this is saying is there's this sense of spirit really kind of redirecting you at this time into seeing your worth, your value, into these spaces of learning how to love yourself again, maybe. Or if you are somebody who already loves yourself, this is this message of continuing to push through things that may take you away from your passions, or maybe, I don't know, it's almost like it's showing you back to who you are. So for like me, I'm going to just use me for example. I've been in hermit mode. A lot of my clients have been in hermit mode for even, for some people, a year or so. And what that means is they were in the back skirts, not really hanging out with a lot of friends, maybe not going to a lot of family functions, or if they did, they were kind of just there. They weren't like really engaging a whole lot. But there's this sense that people are kind of getting out of that and being forced back into reality, or being forced back into doing more with their life, out of the hermit mode and into this new energy of forward movement, or movement in general is what I'm getting. For some of you, there's this energy of you've seen your worth, you've seen your value, you've learned to trust yourself. Because for some of you, I feel like there was some sense of like, at one time there was a lost trust, and now this trust is back. So, or either it's in the process of making its way back because of some healing that you've done, or learning some lessons and seeing your worth and value. But there's this sense of like a big change that has happened, and this change has brought on this sense of faith, trust, hope, inspiration. And it's coming from this like deep healing within. For some of you, you could have been, even while you was in hermit mode, been in a dark night of the soul where you felt like just nothing was ever going to get better, and you couldn't see your worth, you couldn't see your value, you didn't trust your intuition. I mean, and the list goes on and on. But during this process of learning and to trust and to have hope and to have faith, it's taken you back, like steered you back to where you have some sort of glimmer of hope for yourself again. Maybe you have found unconditional love. Even if it's not for yourself, this could be for others. But there's a lot that has to do with going within, gaining clarity, gaining awareness, seeing something maybe from a different perspective, and understanding. I feel like a lot of you that have been in this hermit mode have had a lot of times of bliss, but also a lot of times of sorrow. So, and there may even be like this even balance of the two of these things. For whatever reason, I was told to tell you guys 816, and that was what it was as soon as I was looking up and getting ready to tell you that. So you may want to look that number up. You can look it up on Sacred Scribes. But anyhow, there is this message of trusting again. This is trusting yourself, trusting what the universe is putting you through and why you're going through it, and maybe even trusting in a process that you have seen the future of, meaning maybe you've already had dreams, or like daydreams, or some sort of intuitive insight or vision as to what is going to happen in the near future. And so that's given you hope to hold on, to keep going, to keep pushing forward in whatever it may be. But for most of you, this whatever it may be is love for self, clarity about where you're going. And then for a lot of you now, it's turned into forward movement of going where you want to go. 909, guys, look that up as well. On the bottom, we do have universal, I can't even talk, universal oneness. I don't know why I couldn't get that out, because I think that I said it right all three times. So maybe that's a indicator that spirit is giving you some sort of confirmation 3 times. I always get confirmation 3 times as to whether or not to move or to stay still. I always ask and pray every day for confirmation through other people, places, and things, and that is exactly how I receive it. Okay, moving on. Which cards do I go to, please? I'm getting this balance between feeling a lot of, I don't know if bliss is the right word, even though I'm seeing it on this card. It's more like these moments of extreme joy, maybe even a lot of laughter that's coming through. These moments of not being able to get a smile off your face for whatever reason. It may be because you're thinking about something, or something that you're passionate about, or maybe a love and interest, or maybe it's just because you have finally found love again for yourself. Whatever it may be, there's this sense of like these intense times of joy, but then there's also this time of where fear creeps back in and that joy can dissipate. It's almost like as soon as that joy is there, it's as quick as it's there, as quickly as it is gone. So for some of you, you still haven't mastered the ability to change your thought process and not think as negatively about things as you do. So, to change that thought process, one of the things that you can do is visualize better things, think about better things, act as if those better things are already there, whatever it may be. But just think more positively. Take those negative thoughts and crush them. Tell them that they're a lie. Speak to them as if they are, something of a threat to you or what have you. Tell them to get away, that they have no power or authority over you. I used to do that crap all the time until I felt as if I felt safe and secure in some way, shape, or form. And I never had to, I didn't have to say that anymore because I just felt confident that I was protected. So for some of you, protection may be something that you need to start envisioning around you. So as I'm getting ready to share this next message with you, I felt like I wanted to say something, but then I was held back, or either it was more like when I was getting ready to say something, it was like my breath was taken away from me and I just had to sigh and I just had to think for a second. And that's kind of the message that is coming through, is that there's going to be communication with someone with, maybe this is somebody of importance, because I get this feeling like I'm being backed up, and I feel like it's me backing myself up. Almost like, do it slowly. Don't come in very harsh. I'm getting a feeling of really watch my words. So this may be something that Spirit is trying to tell you, like, just watch your words. Be mindful of what you say. Don't give too much information too fast. Maybe not giving of all of your love and energy as soon as you speak to this person, whoever this person may be. It may be for an employer for a job. It could be somebody that you're passionate about and you're wanting to get in a relationship, or maybe somebody you're going back to and you need to have some sort of communication with. But I feel like there's this sense of the time is now, and you've been waiting for quite some time. I do get this feeling of, it's not maybe that you were waiting on the universe to do something. It was like you was waiting on you to catch up. It's almost like, for some of you, those of you who this is a love connection, some of you could have been like trying to catch up to somebody, or trying to be more like them, or trying to be at their same level is basically what I'm getting. And I'm feeling like some of you didn't even need to do that you was loved exactly how you was. But I do feel like that leveling up to be like somebody else has brought in like a new type of energy. It's almost like there's a timeline shift. There's something that is, I'm hearing the word inevitable, but I don't know where that's coming from. But anyhow, there's a timeline shift that is bringing you into more bliss, okay? More joy, more of this equal keel, and not so much up and down or back and forth type of energy. Now, for some of you, though, you've been with somebody like this could be referring to a love connection or a marriage, or, a partner that you live with. Or for some of you, this could be a career that you've been very invested in for quite some time. But I feel like some of you have at one time or another lost passion for the relationship or for this career path. Maybe because you wasn't fully invested for whatever reason, because you didn't love yourself, because you didn't see your worth or value. For whatever reason, there's something that you've been forced to take a look at. You've been changing certain aspects. You've been listening to your intuition and spirit when you do feel very connected to it. And now it's time to put what you've learned into action. And some of you reap the rewards of this job by putting your whole self back into it, or for some of you reaping the rewards of a relationship that is more balanced. And my dog's over there dreaming, making sounds and stuff. He was really loud, but anyhow, some of you though have got this energy of, you know, that it's time to move in an area, whether it be in a career, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be allowing yourself to become open-minded to making things work in a relationship or a marriage. Because I'm feeling like there's a lot of marriage or couple reuniting in some way, because you can live with somebody and still be distant. Okay, so for some of you, there's some sort of distance, or you can be in a job and hate your job even though you loved it at one time. So there's something about the passion has been lost. Okay, so for whoever this is for, take it how it resonates. But this communication that's coming in is going to bring a sense of freedom. I feel like some of you have had very clouded minds for a while. Some of you have had a lot to say but didn't know how to say it, so you didn't say it maybe even. That's been me, and with with actually several people, not certain people, several people. But that just means that it wasn't the right time to say it. Okay, so don't take it as like it's never going to happen, but at that time it just wasn't the right time. If you didn't have the right words, it wasn't the right time. But I do feel some sort of movement happening when it comes to communication. I feel like many of you are going to feel like a nudge from the universe to say something, to write them a letter, to start maybe being more active in your job, you know, however it resonates for you, it's gonna be you applying yourself more. It's almost like you're bringing passion back to something that was lost for many of you. I just feel like there's some sort of passion that was lost, and maybe it's not that the passion was completely lost, but maybe like for me, being in hermit mode and gaining more clarity in situations, and learning how to move forward with my career and with my business, because not just the business that you guys know me to have with doing tarot, or being a medical intuitive and a healer and things like that. There's other things that I'm getting ready to incorporate into my business that have really nothing to do with that aspect, but a whole nother aspect. I'm thinking about going back to school to become an herbalist, and there's a lot more to it. Okay, there's just so many things that I have gained clarity on and understanding while being in hermit mode. So the passion is now starting to come back to me because I'm starting to get more answers. So some of you are in that red light energy. And what I mean by that is, let me explain to you what green light energy is first. Green light energy is where you're really, really passionate about something. You put time and energy into whatever it is that you're passionate about, and it creates success. It creates some sort of something. Okay, I don't even know how to say this right. But a red light means that you're very, very passionate about something, but every time that you put energy into it, it just doesn't seem to go anywhere. Okay, that was me for quite some time with my business. When I first started doing this channel, it felt like things picked up really, really fast. I got up to like 400 or 500 people really quickly, and then from then on, it just like was really, really, really slow. Any time and energy that I put into my YouTube channel or my TikTok channel, it just didn't produce much results. However, there was times when it did. So there was times when I was in that green light energy and times when I was in that red light. Well, the reason for the red light energy is so that we can learn more, so that we can design more of our reality for ourselves. And what I mean by that is we sit in meditation, we ask for clarity, we gain a new understanding or a new perspective of what it is that is set out for our life in the first place, and then we start making those changes, and it becomes something that we become more passionate about, and then it turns into that green light energy when divine timing is right, or when you finally learn the lessons that you need to learn, or if there's another person involved, maybe when you and the other person learns the lessons that need to be learned, so that forward movement can happen. And I hope that this is making sense to you guys, because I do feel like Spirit's kind of got me all over the place right now in my mind, especially with not having done a reading in a while. And it's almost like I've got a little bit too much messages coming in and not enough time to bring out all of the messages or what have you, but it's almost like it needs to be slowed down in my head, but it's just not slowing down. So many of you have not really been taking the time to make forward movement in a situation with a person or a career, or maybe even both. Maybe some of you have just been very fearful of outcome. Maybe you didn't have enough courage to communicate what it is that you needed to communicate, or again, you may have been in like a hermit mode and just needed to connect. But what Spirit is saying is now it's time to connect with that in which you've been gaining clarity on in the first place, whether it's a career, whether it's a person, whether it's a marriage, whether it's a whatever. It's time to reconnect or to connect with this. You've got enough intuition, guidance, or visions about what it is. Maybe you've gained enough understanding or clarity in this situation. So Spirit's like, it's time to move forward. That could look different for every one of you. Some of you are now in a space where you have the confidence, the courage, the know-how, maybe not the complete know-how, but a little bit of know-how as to what needs to be said, how to say it, and how to take that message forward. Maybe for some of you it's through a text message or an email, or maybe you need to just sit down and have a talk with your boss. Or maybe for some of you it may be sending flowers to somebody that you haven't seen in a while and sending them a letter with it. I mean, it could be anything. Whatever it is for you, it's going to be for you. But there's definitely a sense of gaining some sort of confidence. And now that you've gained that confidence, move forward with that confidence that you have. Which cards do I get to, please? Thank you. Some of you could have been, and I don't know, this might not be very many of you, but some of you may have been putting a lot of time and energy into like a job, but it wasn't really the career path or the business that you wanted to be a part of. Or maybe you was just focusing on your job so that you didn't have to talk to whoever this is, or, really go after that job that you really want, or that business that you want to build, or whatever it may be. It's almost like some of you have been beating around the bush and settling for less than what you deserve, or something like that. So I feel like some of you have some changes that still need to be made, and maybe refocus where you're putting your energy into. There's this sense of forming new foundations. What this could be with people. 2-3-3-3. People, places, things, situations, relationships, careers. It doesn't really matter, but setting some and building some sort of firm foundation. For some of you, this firm foundation is literally talking about for a house. Maybe you're building a house. There's still some things that need to be clear. This could be of the mind, because I do feel like that's talking about like chatter of the mind, or, talking yourself out of doing something, or maybe allowing the fear to override the truth of the matter. So working with Archangel Michael at this time may be very beneficial. This is a message saying that this angel is able and capable of helping you to see the truth of the matter, maybe even helping you to see your purpose. There may be a purpose involved with this situation, with a career, or situation with a relationship. You're being reminded that the success is already yours. It's just there for you to grab now, almost like You know, you've taken enough time to think this through. You've taken enough time to just sit and gain clarity and understanding in a situation. And now it's time to reap those rewards by putting one foot in front of the other, doing exactly whatever it is that you need to do. And then you're going to see a successful outcome. For some of you, that successful outcome may come with a little bit of heartache, but it's going to be successful. Not these. Yes or no? Do I take this card here? Some of you are still working on healing away some sort of addiction. This addiction could be something that you went back and forth with, because I'm getting like this back and forth energy. For some of you, this addiction could have been that you're going back and forth in this not back and forth, but you're staying stuck in a cycle, and that is an addiction to you, because maybe this addiction is like the more pain that you have, the more that secure that you feel. So, and I know this sounds weird, but some of you have to get out of being okay with that pain and get out of that cycle and into a solution of, I don't know how to say it, getting out of that cycle. There's behaviors that are blocking you from moving forward. I just feel like something is repeating and repeating and repeating. And you know that it's going to just take this or that to get out of this cycle from repeating. But you're addicted to the hurt. You're addicted to the pain. You're addicted to the cycle of being a mess. So I don't feel like for all of you this is very intense. But for some of you, this is exactly where you're at right now. And this other part of the reading is where you hope to be. And I even feel like some of you may have been feeling like, oh, this reading isn't for me through this part. And then all of a sudden when I get to this like cycle repeating, you're like, oh, yeah, that's me. But everything else that you said is exactly what I want. So, you know, get yourself out of this cycle. Do whatever it takes. Ask Archangel Raphael to help you to heal this situation with whatever it is that you're stuck in or stuck doing. What other messages do you have for us, please? In love, romance, finance, ascension messages, messages from spirit or higher self, please. That did hit me like right here. So some of you could have a lot of third eye activity, gaining clarity and understanding, maybe even communication with spirit guides, or getting clearer for some of you. Maybe even some of you are connecting through meditation or dream time with other races of beings from maybe other planets, other lifetimes, or what have you. Some of you are even realizing that you have a gift or a talent that other people are not going to understand, or maybe judgmental, or not really care too much about, but Spirit is asking you to embrace that craziness, that weirdness, that whatever it is that makes them judge you in the first place, because this is what is needed. That part of you is what is needed to be shared. For some of you, this could have something to do with inspiring people, healing people, being a visionary, holding space for others. Some of you, this is about giving to others. But, you know, it's going to resonate with everybody differently. But there is this message of like being balanced on this 4D plane, as well as being balanced in other planes. So for some of you, maybe you're astral traveling, maybe you're having out-of-body experiences, maybe you're connecting with other spaces in some way, shape, or form. And this is something that maybe even is meant to be shared with others. I myself have been feeling like somebody's been trying to connect with me. I don't know if he actually truly is, but I've been feeling like he's been trying to connect with me in ways like turning on my radio and contacting me through that almost every single night. And I don't feel like this is somebody that is dead. Anyhow, I did at first, but now I'm not. So some of you may even be going through like telepathic communications with somebody that is living. Maybe even spirit is connecting with you, your spirit guides, your higher self in some way, shape, or form. But I'm feeling a deep connection. I'm also feeling a deep surrender. And, you know, that could be coming from this card here. But there's like the sense of a deep surrender that is happening right now for somebody. Many somebodies maybe. Which cards do I go to, please? I do want to get a couple of these love cards. These don't just have to be about romantic love. This could be talking about love for self, love for others, things of that sort. But let's see what it says. Oh, another surrender card. Surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new, before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. I do feel like that small burp that came up as I was reading this card was just an indicator that this is exactly what needs to happen. Surrender the old so that the new can come in. I feel like somebody is, with the picture on here, it's like telling somebody to just give up the fight. You know, allow yourself to rest and be okay with how things are right now. Balance. Love is not always about agreeing just for the sake of it. A great relationship is one that both supports and challenges. Sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. And I feel like this is some of you that maybe have been distant from your spouse, or from a relationship, or, you know, maybe even been distanced from a friendship, because some of you may have soulmates that are friendships, but this is talking about allowing yourself to venture back that way. And, you know, of course, that's not going to resonate with everybody. I also want to get, this is going to be for those of you who this reading may be about a twin flame. This will only be for those of you who resonate as a twin flame or a divine counterpart. Again, this is only for those who resonate with twin flame or divine counterpart, maybe even soulmate for some of you. I want to grow old with you, hold hands in the park, and enjoy ice cream. I am in my ego, not my heart. Give me time to let my fears dissolve. It is a process. I love you still. I want you still. 999. When I am fearful, I am of service to others. I am connected to source, angels, and the universe. And for whatever reason, when I was reading this, I felt like when it says, when I am fearful, I am of service, I felt like for some of you, that service is overworking and not spending time with people or things that you're passionate about. So for some of you, this may be a caution to not work so hard or not do so much work or overwork yourself. I want to build a future with you. Together we are a powerhouse. I believe in us. So there's this message that I'm getting that some of you are still in your ego, or maybe the person that you are getting a reading about, maybe they are still in their ego and they're still in some fear, and there needs to be this clearing. There needs to be this understanding that something going back to love for self and confidence and courage. You trigger me to see the things that I can't, or you trigger me to see the things I couldn't see. I am working on healing these things so that I can be the best version of me. So for some of you, this person has been working on some things, clearing some things, and I was told to read the bottom. So this goes right along with it. Now may not be the right time, but I do have intentions to one day be with you. Please wait. Okay, so for some of you, you're being asked to wait. I don't suggest waiting. However, if you do, I suggest that you're only doing it because your intuition is guiding you to do so, that you have faith and trust that it is actually meant for you. I have been there, done that, so I completely understand that. But when it comes to the detriment of your mental health, your physical health, maybe even your spiritual health, please be careful with that. Anyhow, I hope that everybody, actually, before I let you guys go, let me get a couple affirmation cards. Let's see what they have to say. There is nothing sexier than my authentic truth. I am the dreamer of my dream. Energy flows where my intention goes. Okay, guys. Couple popsicle sticks and I'll really let you go this time. Earth Star Chakra. Some of you may be experiencing this opening up. The Earth Star Chakra connects your chakras to Mother Earth, brings in stability and inner Earth connections. I am Christ Consciousness. I am higher consciousness. I am transcending animal instincts. I am healing. I am unconditional love. Many of you have already been experiencing an awakening for quite some time and are already in Christ Consciousness. Some of you are just starting to awaken and are feeling this sense of a lot of change when it comes to judgment, being unconditional, loving towards yourself and others, healing aspects, being able to connect with higher states of awareness, higher states of consciousness, and so on and so forth. Throat chakra, that came up 3 or 4 times in this reading. So this is responsible for communication, expression of thoughts, feelings, and ideals. Your social skills may be improving. You will share your truth. I hope that everybody has a wonderful evening. Much love to you guys. Bye.